What if your cat secretly hates something you do every single day? You'd want to know, right? The problem is cats don't complain. They don't bark. They don't whine. They just quietly pull away. And most owners never realize what pushed them away in the first place. Some of what you're about to hear will surprise you because these aren't obvious mistakes. They're things that feel loving, that feel normal, that you'd never even think twice about. Let's start with one almost everyone gets wrong. 1. Burning candles and essential oils. You know that vanilla candle you light every evening to relax after a long day. Your cat is not relaxing, not even close. While you're enjoying the vibe, your cat is trapped in a cloud of scents so overwhelming, it's practically suffocating their senses. A cat's nose has over 200 million scent receptors. Yours has about 5 million. So that light lavender candle to them, it's like being locked in a room full of open perfume bottles with no way out. But it gets worse. Essential oils like tea tree eucalyptus and peppermint aren't just unpleasant to cats, they're actually toxic. Cats lack a specific liver enzyme called glucuronyltransferase, which means they physically cannot break down certain compounds found in these oils. Even diffusing them in the same room can lead to respiratory distress, drooling, vomiting, and in serious cases, liver damage. And here's what makes this so sneaky. Your cat won't dramatically react. They won't cough or run away screaming. They just quietly leave the room, or they start sleeping in a different spot and you never connect the dots. Actually, that silent withdrawal is something we're going to come back to in the last part of this video because the way cats go quiet when something is wrong is one of the most misunderstood and heartbreaking things about them. So, if you love your candles, here's the move. Switch to cat-safe alternatives. Keep the room ventilated and never use essential oil diffusers in spaces your cat can't escape from. Your relaxation ritual shouldn't come at the cost of their health. 2. Forcing them to share territory. Do you have more than one cat? Then here's a question that might sting. Did you ever stop to think that one of them might be silently miserable? Most people assume cats will just figure it out. You bring a new cat home, give them the same food bowls, the same water fountain, maybe even the same litter box, and expect everyone to get along. But that's not how cats work at all. Cats are solitary survivors by nature. They don't form packs. They don't share by instinct. When you force two cats into the same resources without giving them their own space, what you're really doing is creating a low-level territorial war that never ends. A 2017 study published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that resource competition is one of the leading causes of chronic stress in multi-cat homes. And the scary part, it doesn't always look like fighting. Sometimes it's one cat quietly refusing to eat. Sometimes it's one of them avoiding the litter box entirely or hiding under the bed for hours, while the other one patrols the house like they own it. 'Cause in their mind they do. The fix isn't complicated, but most people skip it. One litter box per cat, plus one extra. Separate feeding stations, multiple elevated resting spots. Vertical space matters just as much as floor space, because height equals safety in a cat's mind. You don't need a bigger house, you just need to stop forcing them to compete for every single thing. And hey, if any of this is making you rethink something you've been doing, hit like and subscribe so we can get this video to more cat owners who need to hear it too. 3. Petting their belly when they show it. Your cat rolls over and shows you their belly. What do? Be honest. You go straight in for the rub, right? And then 2 seconds later they grab your hand, bite it, kick it with their back legs, and you're sitting there wondering what just happened. Here's the truth. When a cat exposes their belly, it's not an invitation. It's a declaration. They're telling you, I feel safe enough around you right now to show you the most vulnerable part of my body. That's it. It's trust, not a request. And the moment you reach in and touch it, you just violated the very thing they were trying to express. Think about it from their perspective. Their belly holds every vital organ. In the wild, exposing it means certain death. So when your cat does it at home is actually one of the highest compliments they can give you. But most owners turn that compliment into a reason to grab. And the cat learns something painful, that showing trust leads to being touched in a way they didn't ask for. A study from the University of Lincoln found that cats who are frequently touched in preferred areas like the cheeks and the base of the ears showed significantly more positive responses and fewer signs of agitation than cats who are petted on the belly or tail. The research confirmed what behaviorists have been saying for years. Just because a cat shows it doesn't mean a cat wants it touched. So next time your cat rolls over, try this instead. Just be there. Talk softly. Give them a slow blink. Let them own that moment of vulnerability without turning it into something physical. That's how you build a bond that actually lasts. 4. Looking straight into their eyes. Have you ever locked eyes with your cat and held the stare thinking you were sharing a deep emotional moment? What if that moment was actually making them uncomfortable? In the human world, eye contact means connection. It means honesty, attention, love. But in the cat world, it means something completely different. A direct, unbroken stare is one of the most aggressive signals a cat can receive. Among cats, prolonged eye contact is a challenge. It's what they do right before a confrontation. So, when you sit there gazing into your cat's eyes, thinking you're bonding, your cat's sitting there thinking something is very wrong. And this is where it gets interesting. You probably noticed your cat doing the slow blink, that half-closed, sleepy-looking thing they do when they're relaxed. That's not random. A 2020 study from the University of Sussex found that cats were significantly more likely to approach a person who slow blinked at them compared to someone with a neutral expression. The researchers called it a way of positive emotional communication between cats and humans. In other words, the slow blink is the real eye contact. That's the love, the long stare, that's the threat. So, here's the shift. Stop trying to hold your cat's gaze like you would with a person. Instead, look at them softly and slowly close your eyes for a second. Then open them. Do it calmly. Do it without expectation and watch what happens. Most of the time, they'll blink right back. That tiny exchange says more than 100 stares ever could. It's your cat telling you, I trust you. And this time, you're actually speaking their language. 5. Moving their things without warning. Have you ever rearranged your furniture and noticed your cat acting completely off for the next few days? Most people chalk it up to cats being dramatic, but what's actually happening is much deeper than that. Cats don't experience their home the way you do. You see rooms and furniture. They see a carefully mapped territory where every object, every corner, every scent marker serves a purpose. When you move their bed, relocate their litter box, shift the couch, or even rearrange a shelf they like to sit on, you're not just redecorating, you're erasing their map. And a cat without a map feels like a cat without a home. This isn't just behavioral theory. Cats rely heavily on something called spatial memory. They build mental blueprints of their environment and use scent marking to reinforce them. That's why your cat rubs their face on the edge of your couch or the corner of a wall. They're not being cute. They're placing invisible markers that tell them, this is mine, this is safe. When you wipe those away or move the object entirely, that sense of safety disappears with it, and it shows up in ways most people miss: a cat who suddenly hides more, a cat who stops eating for a day, a cat who starts peeing outside the litter box. These aren't random behavioral glitches. They're stress responses to an environment that no longer makes sense to them. So, if you need to make changes, do it gradually. Move one thing at a time. Let them re-explore and resent the space, and never relocate their core essentials like their food, water, or litter box all at once. Small shifts feel like adjustments. Big ones feel like a threat. 6. Ignoring them when they talk to you. Remember earlier when I said we'd come back to the way cats go quiet when something is wrong? This is that moment, and it might be the most important part of this entire video. Here's something most people don't know. Adult cats don't meow at each other. They just don't. Meowing is a language they developed specifically to communicate with humans. Your cat literally invented a way to talk to you, so what happens when you ignore it? Think about what that actually means. Every meow at the door, every chirp when you walk into the kitchen, every little trill when they follow you down the hallway, those aren't random noises. Those are your cat choosing over and over again to try to reach you. And when you scroll past them, talk over them, or just don't respond at all, something shifts. They don't get louder. They don't try harder. They just stop. A study from Sophia University in Tokyo found that cats can recognize their owner's voice and distinguish it from a stranger's. They're not just hearing sounds. They know it's you. They're listening. The question is whether you're listening back. And this is where it connects to everything we've talked about today. The candles that quietly push them out of the room. The territory battles they fight in silence. The belly they showed you that you misread. The stare that felt like love but wasn't. The home you rearranged without asking. Every single one of those mistakes has something in common. Your cat never complained. They just slowly, quietly pulled away. And most owners never noticed until the distance was already there. So talk back. When they meow, respond. When they follow you, acknowledge them. You don't need to understand every sound. You just need to show up, because a cat who keeps talking to you is a cat who still believes you're listening. And that belief is not something you want to lose.